What's happening, everybody? This is Le Mans Ultimate Beginner Dailies, and I'm just finishing a quali lap here. This is my hot lap, and what you'll see I'm doing here is slowing drastically over the line to hit a target time. I wanted a 2:12, so I would be dead last on the grid and line up back of grid. And this is why you can't do it. I've picked up a random person here trying to exit from pit lane, and as you can see, it is not very helpful here at this track. So by the time you get away, the field is absolutely gone. Now while this footage plays, I've been grinding away in these beginner lobbies, trying to improve my safety rating, and there's been a lot of contact, a lot of door rubbing, a lot of front and rear contact, and I've been finishing races with damage outside the top 10 and drastically losing safety rating. So today I'm trying a new approach. I'm deliberately starting back at grid. That's, by the way, where the field was when that chappie left in pit lane. So I've decided to start back at grid and be very, very patient and very, very conservative for the opening laps. I turn traction control off there and light up the rears a bit as we leave our formation spot, because I want a bit of rear temperature. I don't want a whole lot of understeer, but I definitely don't want oversteer. So I put a bit of heat in the rears, and if we get away, as you can see, I've just dived to the inside here, because anybody who wants to get hot and heavy, I just want to let them go. And I'm planning to spend, there's the first one off there, you can see me climbing the rankings as people fall off the track. My plan was to drive for probably 2 laps without getting near anybody else at all, to avoid any sort of contact, and in doing so improve my safety rating. But once the field strings out a bit and there's a bit of space between the cars, then the plan is to start to actually try to drive fast and be competitive. Still on lap 1 here, approaching the hairpin at the end of the straight, and just giving everybody a lot of room, and thinking that I'm going to let the carnage unfold in front of me. Still lap 1, I'm now in 14th place from 18th on the grid, and approaching the Le Mans complex, which can be pretty tricky. And we have one guy slide off, then contact, second car slides off, and we exit the Le Mans complex onto the Ulmen straight, still on lap 1, but we are now in 12th place. But the drama continues. Somebody's had contact ahead there. That jumps us up to 11th. Somebody here seems to have had an issue. And now we're in 10th place, finishing lap 1 in 10th from a starting position of 18th. Not bad. Sector 1, lap 2, a couple of cars spin off almost in unison but without contact, and that jumps us up a couple of more spots. We don't get to see that from our car in car position, but this is what it looks like as we arrive later, a few seconds after the event, and that's now popped us up into 8th place. So it's lap 2 now, but importantly the cars have started to spring out a little bit and we've got some gaps between them. So I'm permitting myself now to start to increase the pace a bit, start to push a bit and perhaps try to pass people in front of me. So in a moment I'll switch to the in-car cockpit view for a bit more immersion, but you'll notice that yellow car behind me. So that's the one that seems to be recovering onto the pit straight at the beginning of this lap, and it looks like he's got a little bit of pace, so I'm going to keep an eye on him and decide if he impacts my plans. But starting to get into a bit of a rhythm now. The tyres are getting a bit of heat, brakes are getting a bit of heat, car's feeling okay, and now I'm just measuring it out and seeing what the people around me are doing. Still lap 2, just later in the lap, and what we can see is the driver in the yellow car behind me. He's doing pretty well. He's certainly catching up to me, and it's still lap 2, and I'm going to stick with the plan. If this guy is really wanting to race hard and get terribly feisty and battle for position, I don't really want part of that yet. So I'd rather let him go and let him fight somebody up ahead. So I'm going to lift early, brake a little early, and let him fire through. So that was an amazing entry speed from him. That was just a very conservative entry speed from me, because I just wanted to let him through. And if there's going to be a disaster involving him, I don't want to be part of it. I'm still sticking to the plan, being very, very patient, And I know it sounds quite counterintuitive, but I'm just tippy-toeing around and not wanting to really fight anybody yet. So as we start lap 3, and we'll wait for things to play out ahead of us, Sebring, yeah, it's a big challenge. It's a very tricky track in my opinion. It's very bumpy. This is a very accurate laser scan rendition. And we're in a fixed setup car. Not that setup changes a whole lot here in Sebring, but it's very tricky. It's very easy to make mistakes, even on your own. And I think you've got to kind of drive at 98% at Sebring if you start to push things. And by the way, there it happens ahead. The yellow car has come into contact with this other car in front, misjudged the other guy's braking mark, and that's me up 2 more positions into position 7 while still on lap 3. Now we're starting lap 4, and I'm starting to push a little bit now, starting to engage and starting to actually race the people ahead of me. And the car in front of me is looking a little bit hairy, so I don't want to get too close, but at the same time I want to push hard, make myself big in the mirrors, and those tricky Sebring curves have just claimed another victim. So that now puts me, as we end sector 1 of lap 4, I was up into 6th place. That car heading off to the left on the Sunset, big 180, high speed 180, he went off, but he was not in front of me. That was a lapped car, so that had no impact on my position. So this car in front now, I've been chasing him for 2 laps. I got on to the rear of him beginning of lap 4, it's now beginning of lap 6, and he's driving okay. His pace isn't bad. He's run a bit wide there though, and that's given me a big run on him into the hairpin at the end of the deep end straight here. And I'm not going to go for a big bold move, but I just want to intimidate him, get myself big in his mirrors, and hopefully get him to maybe miss a braking mark or something, and he has. He's run it a bit late, run it a bit wide. Meanwhile, somebody else in front there has had an off. That promotes me into 4th place, lap 6. This is actually what happened here. It's very tricky here in Sebring, and he put the power down while the rear wheels were still on the dirt, and that's a race ending crash. So that leaves me, the end of lap 6, I'm in 4th place. I'm 10 seconds down on 3rd place, and can't see a lot more happening with 4 laps to go. I'm not going to have pace that's good enough to pull in a 10-second gap in 4 laps. So I just want to keep it clean and have some fun. I'm very happy with 4th place at this point, but this is the guy in 2nd. And once again, the tricky sector 1 in Sebring, and those curves and the realism of this sim have cost somebody else dearly. And he's totally lost his front right wheel. Quite nice detail there, and the underbody underpinnings being visible. But I'm not aware of this yet. I'm just looking at the gap to the guy in front of me until I come up here. I think this is Cunningham, and notice a lot of sparks, and that now puts me into 3rd place. So if I'd been offered that at the beginning of the race, I would not have believed it. So 15 places gained, and a whole lot of safety rating gained, and ended up with a very competitive result by not trying too hard to be too competitive for most of the race. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch up with the next one.